Hi everyone, my name is Melissa van Dijk, and in today's video I want to talk about a question most of us have asked at some point, which is, what does our skin actually need to be healthy? Now if you type that question into Google, you get an AI-generated answer that looks a little bit like this. It talks about cleansing, moisturizing, sunscreen, treatments, as if those are what your skin mainly needs. And I do not think that that answer is wrong, but I do think it is answering a different question. Because it is telling you what to put on your skin, not how your skin actually stays healthy. Which is kind of the opposite of what that question is really asking. And that is what I want to look at today. Not just what makes your skin look okay for a moment, but what actually lets it stay healthy, which is what your skin actually needs. Because your skin isn't just something sitting on the outside. It is part of your body and it's being fed all the time by what's in your blood. So the way your skin feels, how soft it is, how calm it is, and how easily it gets irritated is shaped by what your body is building out of food. That means that long before you ever touch your face with a product, your skin is already responding to what's happening inside you and around you. And that way of looking at skin is what I call need-based skincare. Now your outer skin layer works a bit like a wall. It keeps water in and keeps irritating substances out. But it isn't fixed because your skin cells are rebuilding it all the time. And what they have to work with depends on your blood sugar, the kinds of fats you eat, how much inflammation your body is dealing with, and also the environment you're in, like dry air, heat, cold, wind, and water quality. So when your body is dealing with big sugar swings, unstable fats, food sensitivities, or foods your body doesn't really tolerate well, that wall still forms, but it isn't as strong. And when the environment is also harsh, like very dry air or a lot of friction, the wall has to work even harder. So more the water escapes and the skin becomes easier to irritate. And beyond that, food can also bring in substances your system has to spend energy clearing. Often not in a dramatic way at first, but slowly over time. When that load is high, your immune system stays more active and your skin becomes much more reactive. And when it happens, redness, itching, breakouts and sensitivities become much more likely, even if nothing has changed in your skincare routine. And what you eat also changes the oil your skin produces. That oil feeds the bacteria that lives on your skin, and some of those bacteria help keep inflammation low, but others push it higher. So when the oil changes, the balance between them changes too. And that's also another reason why your skin can suddenly start breaking out or feeling more irritated, even when your routine hasn't changed at all. All of this is happening before any products even touch your skin. So when the skin is already under internal strain or less able to cope with its environment, the natural filters that usually protect it are weaker. And when you then apply products, they can sink into more deeply and trigger stronger reactions. That's why your skin under internal stress or skin that's already worn down by the environment often becomes much more sensitive to products that used to be fine. So when I talk about a need-based skincare, I don't mean reacting to every small change. Skin is meant to shift a little bit. It gets oilier in heat, drier in cold air, and redder with stress, exercise, wind, or washing. And that's normal. What matters is what happens after. Healthy skin changes and then recovers. Unhealthy skin changes and stays there. When the skin is still able to settle itself, oil levels even out, redness fades, and small blemishes start to close and heal without you having to do anything special. Now for most of us, that settling happens within a day or two for surface irritation, and breakouts often start to improve over several days. Not always perfect, but you can usually see the direction it's going. Need-based skincare only really starts when that recovery stops, meaning when the skin stays tight, red, flaky or broken for many days, or when breakouts keep forming in the same areas without healing in between. That's a sign the skin is stuck in inflammation instead of finding its way back to normal. And when skin gets stuck like that, it's usually because something is constantly irritating it. either from the outside, from the inside, or even both. And that's where the point where support can help. But before that, doing more usually just adds more signals to a system that was already trying to calm itself. Now that doesn't mean that that you should never cleanse or protect your skin, but it does mean not using products just because they're part of a routine, whether that's a cleanser, a toner, a treatment, or moisturizer, especially when your skin is already trying to heal. So need-based skincare isn't about having a right routine. It's about giving your skin enough space to do what it already knows how to do. And that means paying attention to what's happening inside your body and what your skin is dealing with in your environment, not just what's happening on the surface. So need-based skincare is really about knowing when to act and when to get out of the way. And I hope that this helped make the idea a little bit clearer for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!